Hey everyone, Buffy's almost back, and I'm sure this season will be full of unexpected storylines. Today we're unpacking a special episode layered with subtle, fascinating moments, from love triangles to supernatural drama, and it's going to get interesting for all the Buffy fans.
In every generation there is a chosen one. She is the Slayer.
It feels like a lost episode, one many fans either missed or didn't even know existed, especially if you aren't deep into the Buffyverse, including the comics. By the way, if you're interested in a full recap of seasons 8 through 12, I've got a playlist on my channel that covers everything. Between seasons 6 and 7, a standalone Spike story came out, and here's the exciting part. It was written by James Marsters himself, the actor who brought Spike to life. He loved playing this rebellious vampire. He took the character seriously, so it's no surprise he wanted to expand William the Bloody's journey in graphic novel form, Spike into the Light. So the big question, what happened to Spike after he got his soul but before he returned to Sunnydale? He didn't immediately fall under the first evil's influence. His mind was still intact. In fact, Spike had already fought the demon inside him before getting his soul, so the soul didn't change him, it just completed something that was already happening.
You faced the monster inside of you and you fought back.
You asked for a soul. I didn't. I spent 100 years trying to come to terms with infinite remorse. You spent 3 weeks moaning in a basement, and then you were fine.
You had a soul forced on you, make you suffer for all the horrible things you've done. With me, I fought for my soul. Went through the demon trials. Almost did me in 12 times over, but I kept fighting.
Spike's path toward humanity was unique for a vampire. Unlike Angel, he didn't disappear into basements for centuries, drowning in guilt. William lived through the pain and kept moving forward, one small step at a time. Right from the first page, the comic made the timeline clear. The artist put strong visual emphasis on Spike's boots, an intentional motif. They show how he tried to patch together a life falling apart, much like the worn-out boots he relied on. After he regained his soul, William followed the path Buffy had shown him, helping people in trouble. This time it was a girl, attacked in an alley. During the fight, he did everything he could to keep his vampire face hidden from the bird, not wanting to scare her even more. Spike awkwardly tore his boot, tripped because of it, and nearly lost the fight. What stood out was that his attackers were human, and Spike felt no pain when he hit them. That could only mean one thing: the chip had stopped working even before the first evil fully took hold in season 7. It was reasonable to assume the chip had been damaged when Spike regained his soul. After chasing the two attackers away, Spike complained about his ruined boots, while a girl named Dylan thanked the rough, yet undeniably attractive, William. On their way home, the two flirted openly. When Dylan asked if he had a girlfriend, Spike hesitated. Even though his relationship with Buffy had already fallen apart, his heart clearly belonged to her. Outside Dylan's building, Spike finally worked up the nerve to tell her his real name, William. They said their goodbyes and the vampire promised to keep an eye on her. But Spike was starving. There was no animal blood to be found, no money in his pockets, and his conscience wouldn't let him steal the way he used to. He couldn't help thinking about how pathetic it all looked. Spike couldn't even afford a decent pair of boots. Boots he once would have taken straight off a store shelf by smashing a window without a second thought. He glanced at a nearby shop. The display window with the boots he wanted felt strangely familiar, a reminder of his criminal past. After all, murder and robbery had once been his lifestyle as a vampire. In a moment of reflection, Spike remembered that he had already been in this town before, and that the town had definitely remembered him. Along with yet another bloody trail William had left behind, over $100,000 hidden beneath the floor of that very shop. Remembering the stash, Spike felt a rush of relief. He could finally support himself, but the hope didn't last long. His conversation with the shop owner, the new proprietor, went badly. Worse still, Spike's impulsive behavior scared her, and the old lady chased the vampire out with a broom. The voice in his head wouldn't leave him alone. How was he supposed to survive if brute strength was no longer the key to getting what he wanted? His thoughts were suddenly cut short by screams for help. A demon had snatched a child right off the street. Spike charged into the fight, once again being clumsily sabotaged by that torn, useless boot. The demon grabbed him by the hair, finally knocking him completely off balance. And Spike's vampire face emerged. Fueled by adrenaline, Spike won. Well, almost. As it fled, the demon threw the child into a fire and escaped. Shocked, Spike leapt straight into the flames as the child's mother screamed in despair. Fortunately, Spike had saved the baby, though his vampire face continued to frighten the woman. She called the police, shouting about a monster. Spike quietly left the child with her and ran off. Starving, he wandered near Dylan's house. She spotted him through the window and invited him inside. At her place, Dylan showed him her artwork, her drawings. Spike genuinely seemed to appreciate them, like a kindred creative soul. In canonical season 10, when Buffy and Spike were together again as a couple, they visited Dylan's exhibition. She even gifted Spike one of her paintings. This confirms the canonicity of the graphic novel by James Marsters, since Dylan's character, including her role in the season, was officially approved by Joss Whedon and continues the series canon. Anyway, Dylan's creativity and Spike fit perfectly into the story. Her drawings depicted a sunny day, the kind the vampire longed for, but the peaceful atmosphere was shattered by harsh reality. Spike's demonic nature didn't appear in mirrors, so William fled from Dylan, not wanting her to notice. During a walk, a few ambiguous exchanges, some open-hearted flirting, and personal talks led to a moment. A kiss right in the sunlight at dawn. Spike panicked. The vampire hastily threw his leather jacket over his head and bolted. On his way, Spike came across children in danger. A dark creature, a true monster, had kidnapped 5 more kids and was now hiding them in a shed. Dylan caught up and witnessed the bloody fight. Spike shouted for her to hide with the children, adding with some irony that this was exactly when he didn't have a witch, a nerd, or a librarian around. But the Scoobies were far away and handling evil alone was a new challenge. The demon caught up to them, forcing Spike to unleash his vampire side in an even more aggressive battle. Secrets were revealed, and Dylan froze in terror. The fight was hellish, literally. Spike was engulfed in sunlight flames, yet he continued to protect the kids. Meanwhile, the demon revealed its plan. It was gathering a family of children and simply wanted to be loved. Spike defended the children and his new friend, and in the end, he collapsed to the floor, begging for help. Dylan wasn't ready to face this new world and told Spike to stay away from her. Spike survived, of course, but he quietly suffered. Embarrassed that he had lost the fight in front of a girl while scavenging for rats to eat. He was still starving and asked himself the most important question: what would Buffy do? So the next time he went to the shop with the hidden money, he decided to be honest. Despite his burned face clearly frightening the owners, the man agreed to talk. Spike told the whole truth and promised to give back half of the money, so all that remained was to see if he was being sincere. When the elderly couple lifted the floorboards, they were stunned. The treasure had been right there under their feet all along. The vampire had told the truth, and he patiently waited aside for his share. However, the couple simply listened to Spike and made no promises. The old lady, without hesitation, chased the stranger out with a broom for the second time. Disheartened, Spike walked down the alley, when suddenly the shop owner caught up with him. He apologized for his wife's rudeness and, thanking Spike for finding the money, gifted him the very boots he had always dreamed of, the ones from the display window he had admired. William was thrilled, his excitement childlike. The next morning, Dylan received a farewell gift, flowers from William. Along with them came a note from the romantic vampire. telling her to care for the flower and keep it out of shadows, because it loved the sun. After that, Spike left town. According to season 7 canon, he fell under the influence of the first evil in Sunnydale. Buffy saved him, cared for him, and removed the damaged chip. The couple eventually became endgame in the following seasons. Share your thoughts on Spike's adventures and let me know if you're familiar with any additional stories from the expanded universe.
Can we rest now? Buffy, can we rest?
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.